kind of go into the major three and then the perfect fifth. It's actually kind of nice. Yeah. Kind of nice. Okay. All right.
All right. Yeah. All right. Let's do that thing we're here.
Time to start. It's okay. We're good jazz musicians.
Well,
We're close.
didn't play.
Okay.
I know.
All right. Sing a song. Ready?
Okay.
Oh wait. You good? Okay, we're good. 1, 2.
When you feel down and out, sing the song, it'll make your day. There is a time to shout, sing the song, it'll make your way. Sometimes it's hard to care, sing a song, it'll make your day. It's not so hard to bear, sing a song, it'll make your way. Sing a song, sing a song, sing a song, sing a song, yeah. Bring your heart to believe it. Sing a song, it'll make your way. Life ain't about retrieving. Sing a song, it'll make your way. Give yourself what you need. Sing a song, it'll make your day. Smile, smile and believe. Sing a song, it'll make your way. Sing a song, 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 sing a song.
Sing a song, sing a song. Thank you. Thank you, Aiden, Brendan, and the rest of your band. Thank you. Good morning. Welcome. Welcome to the Centre for Spiritual Living Toronto. And welcome to all of you joining us online. We're glad you're here to join us. Thank you. My name is Judy Southen, and I'm a practitioner here at the Centre. I love, as you know, the Science of Mind monthly magazine. I rave about it all the time. And there was a quote that really gave me pause to think and really think. And it goes like this: Spirit now passes magnificently into form as me. Now think about that, because that's true of all of us. Spirit now passes magnificently into form as me, as each and every one of us, as everything, as everyone. That's the creative process at work. It's always working. So know that there is one Spirit, one God, one divine presence that is always creating, everywhere present, all-knowing and all-powerful. And that's how you remember who you are. An expression of Spirit. So align yourself now with your source, the source of all life, and create a peaceful mind. The theme this month is peace. Our peaceful minds think alike and create alike, and peace comes from within us, within each of us. So let's choose peace by being aware of our thoughts, and choose loving thoughts, because at our core, we are hardwired to love, and love creates peace. So choose peace within, and as we do this, we create change in the world. we can create lasting peace right now. Peace is possible. Peace is what's happening right here and now, even though it doesn't look that way. It is happening within our hearts. Peace in our hearts, loving thoughts in our hearts. We are contributing to peace right now by our very peaceful thoughts. We are being the change. So breathe it in. Breathe in spirit. Breathe in peace. Breathe in the divine presence and let it fill you up like air fills a sponge. Just absorb it all. Absorb it. Peace and love and harmony. We are free to choose peace. Namaste. Peace. Thank you. Thank you, Aidan Farrell and the band. Thank you. We are blessed. We are blessed. We have a few announcements today, and I'm going to start with Carrie. Carrie Garnier has something to announce from her mic over there.
From over here. Hi, yes. So it is a hectic time of the year, and it's really important to practice self-care. So this Tuesday evening, I encourage you to come and join us at 7 p.m. upstairs. We're going to do an interactive workshop with essential oils. Now, I know a lot of you got hit by Rebecca on the way in with peppermint and orange. The great thing about essential oils is because they are so complex, they work on the body in a multitude of ways. So I'm going to be talking specifically about how the top 10 oils, and some of my favorites, help you emotionally at this time of year. So if you want to know what peppermint and wild orange are doing for you in terms of your emotional support, come to the workshop on Tuesday at 7 upstairs. Please sign up in the lobby just so I know how many people are coming so we can get the right amount of fun samples to play with. Okay, that's it.
Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Carrie. I'm hepped up. I had some of that treatment before I got up here today, so thank you.
Oh, peppermint and wild orange are some of the best you can do for yourself. Peppermint and wild orange this time of year.
Thank you. And so, yes, so Rebecca, an announcement also.
Hi, if you didn't get hit with a wild orange and peppermint sample before service, you're welcome to see me afterwards in the store and I can give you a sample. That's what you smell on everyone today.
Awesome.
So I want to talk a little bit about the holiday fundraiser, or as Helen likes to call it, the sock raiser. So we are running a fundraiser for the entire month of December, with the profits going to community outreach to grow our amazing, loving community. And we partnered with Vox Life to share some amazing wearable neurotechnology with you. And these make amazing Christmas gifts. So what are they? They're socks and insoles, but they're not just socks and insoles. They have a pattern woven into them that basically, long story short, works on the receptors of your feet and puts your brainstem in homeostasis. Really cool, Canadian invention. I've seen people who haven't walked in 20 years walk with these things, and they're also just really awesome if you have like kids who play hockey and you don't want them to fall over and stuff. Really good for that too. So if you want to know more, come and ask me. I've made these little flyers that you can take home with you today that actually have all the product information, a size chart on it, and the order website, and 25% of the purchase price of everything comes right back to the center. So please consider this for your holiday gift giving this year. Thank you.
Thanks, Rebecca. And you probably have noticed, many of you have taken a tag from our giving tree that Carol Calder created for us. There's 3 tags left, and it's for the Red Door Family Shelter. And by the way, some of the gifts have arrived already. They have to be here by December the 20th, because after that we're going to take them over to the Red Door. We have postcards for our Live Well Center, Live Well store, front and back. We have a ton of them in the Live Well store, and we would like you to spread the word, to help us, to take some of those postcards and hand them out to local coffee shops, your hair salon, bakery, or whoever you do business with. So please help us out, advertise this Live Well store, because we want the whole community to know about us. And remember, when you buy stuff in the Live Well store, there's no tax on items because we're a not-for-profit charity. So it's a great place to do Christmas shopping. And the last announcement is, don't forget the Science of Mind study group Wednesday night from 7 to 8:30. Thank you. That's about it. I'll turn it over to the band for our sing-along. So please stand up.
We're going to do This Little Light of Mine.
Woohoo! This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine.
you. Thank you. Thank you, Aidan and the band. This is the time in our service that we introduce our practitioner of the day. And I'm so pleased to bring up to the podium, to the lectern, my dear friend and loving colleague, Ellen Neal. So please give a hand for Ellen.
Hi, everybody. It's so nice to be here. I need to put my glasses on. Okay, so in this time period right now with December and the peace, I'm sure we all have some chaos in our lives, whether it's Christmas shopping, family issues, the world, the news. It's all really difficult sometimes to see. And there's that old saying from growing up in church that there's nothing given to us by God that we cannot handle. And that's absolutely true because we are one, we are peace. We have that peace that passeth understanding. And I remember a few years ago sitting in some chaos at home and feeling so calm. And that term came into my mind from the past and thought, wow, this really is a peace beyond our human understanding when we practice the spiritual discipline and when we let ourselves really be guided and grow with it. One of my favorite books from practitioner studies was The Practice of Presence by Joel Goldstein in 1956. And he wrote so much of what I wanted to say, and it's a beautiful turn of phrase. And one of the most comforting passages in Scripture, he says, is, "My peace I give unto you, not as the world giveth, give I unto you." And we might ask ourselves what we know about peace. We all know the kind of peace the world can give, but that is not the kind of peace that we need. Many of us think we would have peace if we had enough supply, or if we had our health, or if we had the right kind of companionship. And that might be true, but having those things does not guarantee that we should not be disturbed about something else. And as we look to people and situations for peace, we shall fail to find either enduring satisfaction or peace. My peace, not the world giveth, but my peace, which is a gentle spirit which wells up within us and has no relationship to the state of our affairs, although ultimately it settles our affairs. The world is seeking peace, just as it is seeking safety and security, and we're seeing that every day. Outside its own being, whereas no peace, no safety, and no security will ever be found except in our individual realization as the God that we are, the presence and power. We cannot tell the world about this peace, safety, or security, but we can find it for ourselves and thereby let the world see by our experience that we have found a way higher than superstitious belief in some power of good that miraculously saves us from some power of evil. Love is the law of God. When we are in tune with divine love, loving whether it be a friend or enemy, then love is a gentle bringing of peace. And in that spiritual oneness, we find the peace with one another. We realize that everyone we meet is the same one that we are, that the same life animates him, the same soul, the same love, the same joy, the same peace, the same desire for good. I am you. My interest is your interest. My joy is the same joy. It is the same desire for good. My one soul, the one Spirit of God. The moment that we give up our human sense of separateness, this principle becomes operative in our experience. It has never failed, and it will never fail to bring forth rich fruitage. So go within, get quiet, become still until the peace that passeth understanding descends. God's grace removes every obstacle from our path because the light of truth, this little light of mine, the light that we shine, has the power to overcome the obstacle. When we find our inner peace, we shall find the omnipresence is governing us, and all of the things that we feared, people or conditions, automatically disappear because of the nothingness. A spiritual teaching is a revelation of spirit as infinite, individual being, a spirit omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, beside which there is no other. In that realization, darkness disappears and light comes in. Peace is given unto me and through me to the world. This is the function of the light that is pouring through me. The truth I am becomes the bread of life to this world, which does not know its own identity. I, my divine consciousness, become the wine and the water. This light which I am becomes the light of the world to the unilluminated, and my presence a benediction of peace. And so that's Joel Goldstein, and that book, open it anywhere, and it is so beautiful to just read a paragraph. So, with that, the affirmation, I'm so sorry. Okay, so we have the affirmation, and if we'll repeat it twice, I will repeat it once, and you repeat it twice after me. I am the peace that contributes to peace on earth. So again, I am the peace that contributes to peace on earth. And one more time. I am the peace that contributes to peace on earth. Thank you. So in this moment, I invite you to just close your eyes if you're comfortable and feel the peace that is our default, that is who we are as spirit. Knowing that the expression of God is in everything we see, in the beauty of everything that we encounter, and that same expression is our expression, our perfect expression of divinity in our own way. And I know right now, right here, that there is a presence of peace and a presence of love that does pass understanding. And I trust that each person experiences this knowing that there is a strength in it, that there is a power that lets us move on in this moment and in every moment, regardless of circumstances, knowing that we are filled with this divine energy. We express this energy and love in confidence, knowing that as we do, it passes on from one person to the other, and we do change the world and the community right here around us. And our peace changes the world outside and beyond. And I am so grateful for this place. I am so grateful for the community and for the people here who are working towards this peace together in harmony, showing the grace of the wonderful spirit that exists within us. And I release this word to the law, knowing it is so, knowing there is a sense of calm that steps out with us here today. And together we say, and so it is.
Thank you, my dear friend Ellen. Thank you. And you ain't seen nothing yet.
There's nothing new under the sun. If it's possible, it's already been done. If you think the stage is already set, think again. You ain't seen nothing yet. Gonna come up with the wave of your hand. You're smack dab in the middle of the promised land. It all turned out just the way that you planned. Believe it to see it. If you think you finally made your bed, there ain't nothing down that road ahead. If you think that this is good as it gets, wanna bet you ain't seen nothing yet. Gonna come up with a wave in your hand. You're smack dab in the middle of your ain't seen nothing yet. There's nothing new. It'll all come up with a wave of your hand. You're smack dab in the middle of your promised land. It all turned out just the way that you planned. Believe it to see it. And you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. No, you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. No, you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. No, you ain't seen nothing. I said you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. No, you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Aiden. Thank you, Brendan, Julian, Carrie, Brian, and Agnea. He's new on drums today. Whoa. You ain't seen nothing yet at this center. We are growing, we are evolving, we are creating a wonderful world for everyone by our peaceful thoughts and by our intentions. So stick around. Okay, this is the time. We have a guest speaker, and our speaker comes from within our practitioner core community, and it is Fred Ouimet, who you know. But let me tell you just a little bit more about Fred that you may not know. Oh, nothing. I won't go there. That's not what he gave me. Fred's been a publisher in the magazine industry for more than 25 years. And for the past 5 years in the publishing area for 3 magazines, Canadian Wildlife, Biosphere in French, because he's French, and a wildlife children's magazine called Wild. His big accomplishment has been a vision of his for the past 2 years coming to fruition now, and he's launching a wildlife children's magazine in French in 2018. So Fred came to this philosophy, this science of mind philosophy, about 10 years ago on a cruise ship in the ocean, after studying A Course in Miracles for 2 years. Is that right? And many great teachers like Eckhart Tolle and the like, all the people that we talk about, because we're all one mind, and there's just so many spiritual teachers who are saying very much the same thing. He's been studying New Thought for more than 9 years, and Science of Mind, of course, is a New Thought philosophy. And Fred has been a licensed practitioner for more than 2 years, and he has witnessed people's lives change, and I know that he embodies this philosophy in everything he does. So please welcome my friend, my colleague, my dear friend, Fred Ouimet.
Thank you, Judy. Thank you. Well, thank you, Judy. I'll pay you later. That was awesome. Good morning, everyone. And you know what? I'm sitting here, and I just realized that. So this is a talk that I put together, and I just realized that as I got out of the truck this morning, my car, that my papers fell on the ground, and I never checked to see if they're in order. So this could be a really interesting lecture this morning. We're going to go through it together, though. How's that? Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody here. Good morning, everybody online. Welcome. And I want to thank Reverend Helen for allowing me this opportunity to share a story with you today. The theme this month is peace, if you haven't figured that out or heard it a few times. And one of the things that happens is every time we end up doing a lecture, we don't know, we don't coordinate with each other what we're going to say, but everything just falls into place. And Ellen, you were talking, and I'm hearing your words, and I'm thinking, well, that's my speech. And then Judy, you spoke, and there's my speech. But I'm going to take you on a bit of a journey this morning. Today I'm going to talk about how peace can still exist in our life even when there appears to be chaos or things seem to be going negative in our life. And how do we find that sense of peace when there's chaos? How do you find peace when there's chaos or things in the world that are showing up that are not settling for you? How do you deal with it? Because the question is, can you be at peace if everything seems chaotic around you? And again, I'm going to take you on a bit of a personal journey this morning. And I know that each and every one of you could come up here and tell a story of how, in spite of everything that might have been going wrong in your life, you found a place of peace or place of love. But I just get to stand here in front of the lectern and tell you today. So hopefully you'll find something that applies in your life. Martin Luther King wrote many speeches and wrote many quotes. We've quoted them throughout history, my history. And one of the talks that he gave, or one of the things that he said, and this always resonates with me. I use this all the time. And it said, "Be the peace that you want to see in the world." Be the peace that you want to see in the world. The peace that you are seeking is not outside in the circumstances or the happenings of our life. The peace that you seek is really inside. And it's inner peace. That's what we get to control. So as I said, this journey I'm going to take you on reflects this philosophy through and through. So find what nuggets resonate for you as I go through this journey. About a year ago, actually September in 2016, I told you about a friend of mine, Maria. She was my sister-in-law. And I told you at the time that she had been diagnosed in April of 2016 with cancer. And they originally told her that it had spread through her body and that there was nothing they could do for her. And I told you that she had sat up within 2 days on the bed in the oncology department and said, "I'm not sick. I'm not sick." And she experienced this healing. And in fact, she even said to the doctors at the time, she said, "Take me out of oncology. There's sick people in the hallway. I'm okay. Send me home. I'm good. I'll do the treatment and everything you want, but I'm okay." And then I told you in September that Maria had gone through the treatment and had a clean bill of health in August, that she had experienced a complete healing, they told her. And I told you that the healing didn't take place when they gave her the prognosis that it had been gone, but that they gave her, that it came to her the moment that she decided that she was going to be healed, regardless of what anything happened. Well, later in December of 2016, Maria wasn't feeling well and she went back to the hospital. And they told her that the cancer had returned full force in her body. Within 2 months, on February 19th, with her brother on one side holding her hand, and me on the other side holding her hand, Maria peacefully transitioned. Now, I have to tell you, I relied on my spiritual community. My fellow practitioners reached out to me because I knew that my role was to remain in peace during this chaotic time. And I relied on the center. I mean, this center's here. Just use it. Come and, we're all here to serve. Let us help you through anything that's chaotic, because I can tell you that it made a big difference. I had people come up to me afterwards and say, "Well, I guess the healing really didn't take place because Maria transitioned." And I said, "Yeah, you're right. On the physical plane, yes, Maria transitioned. But you don't get to decide whether she was healed or not, because Maria had healing." I'll tell you that what I witnessed, I can't even tell you in 20 minutes here what I witnessed as Maria went through this process the last 2 months of her life. I cannot begin to tell you. She was so at peace actually that even we would say to her, "Maria, are you in pain?" Do you know that she went through the entire last 2 months of her life in the hospital and never required pain medication? Not even until the day she transitioned. And she was so at peace, and I remember this because, and the last day, one of the last things that Maria said to us, she took my hand and she took her brother's hand and she pulled it up to her chest and she whispered 3 times. She said, I'm tired, but I'm at peace. And she said that 3 times as she transitioned. Don't tell me that Maria did not experience a healing. So when they gave us, when Maria went through, and by the way, I mean, it was just such a peaceful way to transition. I wish, we all are going to make that journey. And I would pray that for everybody that you experience it in that peaceful kind of way. That is something that was really incredible. So there's a festival in August when Maria had got the diagnosis that she was well. There's a festival in her hometown. She's from Portugal. And she said, next year, we're all going on this journey. We're going to go to this festival. It's a 5-day festival in my town. And she was very well known in her town. She won the best sweetbread contest of the entire island. So she was well known in the town. She represented Save Santa, I know, right? Give her a hand. So she could hear us, right? So she used to brag about her sweetbread, and she actually won, and a couple of years before she transitioned. So she was really well known. So this town, in August of this year, we made the trip, and we decided to go to Portugal. Now, I can tell you that some of the synchronicities that show up when you live this way and you live at peace are really incredible. And I'm just going to share a few of those with you. So we pull up to the house, Maria's house in Portugal, after flying over there, and a rainbow appears right over the house. And we went, oh my God, she's welcoming us. That's really incredible. I mean, it's just a rainbow, but what did it do to our consciousness? It elevated it. It's a festivity in the town, and so they do things like draws. It reminds me of like the old fairs, and the old fairs where there's like cotton candy and kids are running around, and there's this stage in the middle of the thing. They even have a live auction for animals and livestock and all that stuff. It's really takes you back to a different time. But they have these draws because they raise money. So they had 5,000 tickets, and there were 10 prizes, and they were small prizes, but 2 of them were in Maria's name. So the prize was number 5. It was de Maria dos Anjos, right? Maria dos Anjos Botelho. So I bought 1 ticket, and I said, oh, I want to win that prize. I want to win the prize that's dedicated to Maria. Imagine, I'm here on this journey. I want to win that prize. And so there they are, all in the circle, and the priest is up on stage, and he's pulling out names, and he comes, number 5, Ganhão da Maria dos Anjos Botelho, and he read my name. I won this prize. And it was a kettle. Now, it's a kettle, right? But here's the thing. I don't drink tea. I'm not a tea drinker. I've never been a tea drinker. But Maria used to make me tea all the time. I used to drink Maria's tea, because I got her sweetbread, by the way, with it. But I used to drink Maria's tea all the time. And so she'd say, Fred, cousin Shazang. And I go, yes, I'll have a tea. And I'd drink her tea. So on the journey of the trip that we actually went to the tea factory, I bought tea, and I had my tea with Maria's kettle in Maria's house. And it just felt really comforting, right? Another part of the trip that happened, I was talking to Maria's girlfriend on the side of this mountain, and it's a beautiful, I mean, if you ever get a chance to go. And you're so at peace. And Maria's girlfriend said, I feel sad. And I said, yeah, sadness is a feeling. She said, but I don't know how to shake it. I said, don't, use it. I said, basically, I explained to her how you move sadness to love, because your head space is sad. And it's only 1 inch around, but your heart space is 3 feet around you, as Helen talks about in Heart Math. And I said to her, I said, let me make it simple for you. You wouldn't feel sadness if you didn't feel love. So now instead of focusing on how sad you are, focus on how much that reminds you that you love. And so we meditated for about 5 minutes, and both feeling this total sense of peace on the side of the mountain. And I walk around the corner, and there, staring right in front of me, is this most beautiful, beautiful, beautiful favorite flower of mine. I have a favorite flower. It's called the calla lily, a white calla lily. And I walk around the corner, and I hope that you can see this. If not, I'll have it back there. But there's this beautiful white calla lily. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see it online or not, but if you can. Okay, this beautiful white calla lily. And it stopped me in my tracks, and I literally turned to Vanille, her girlfriend, and oh my God, this is my flower. Like it's one flower. I've never seen this flower before. And she said, well, they're abundant on the island. They're here in the thousands. I said, but I've never seen them. And she said, yeah, they're abundant in April. They don't come up in August. And I went, wow. Did everybody just get goosebumps? I just got goosebumps again. Anyway, we turned around, and there was these beautiful sunflowers. And Vanille said, oh my God, that's our flower. That's the flower that's our flower. We always get each other that. That's our symbolic flower. Well, that night we went to dinner, and we were at dinner, and Maria's brother, John, I told him, I said, calla lily, my favorite flower. And John said, I saw my flower today too. And he took a picture of this flower that was a unique flower at the same spot, different part of the mountain. And then he reminded me that the week that Maria had passed, she said to her brother, she said, John, I will send you one flower, and you will know when you see that flower that I am at peace and that I am happy. And I remembered him saying that then, not when I saw the flower. And we're all just sitting there mind blown, like, wow, that was pretty spectacular that we all got a flower on that day, right? It was really, really incredible. There's another day we were on another part of the island, and I just had this huge conversation with about 3 people about how peace and how we have to find peace on earth, and like I'm doing now, peace inside and peace. I live this way, so this is not unusual for me to have these kinds of discussions. And I was telling them how you find peace and how you can come to peace, and it doesn't matter what's happening out there, and the world needs more peace and all this stuff. And then we drove up the hill, and there was no parking. Now, I am Science of Mind 101, and Science of Mind 101 is we can manifest parking spots. I always have a parking ferry. So just as we pulled up and they went, there's no parking spots, I went, shh. And sure enough, a car pulled out. And just as that happened, so we got out of the car and we took pictures and we explored, and it was wonderful, and we couldn't wait to get on to the next thing. There were 3 cars, we were all in tow, and just as we were about to leave, I get in the car, and I swear to you, I just got goosebumps head to toe, because I'm in the middle of Portugal. Everything is written in Portuguese. Eu sabes como me fala português. I can speak Portuguese, not read it so well, and there in front of my car is this. Right in front of my car. And I'm going to tell you what it says, because you can't really read it that well. Here's what this post said that was in front of my car. May peace prevail on earth. Right in front of my car. The only parking spot, imagine. Tell me there's no coincidences, right? You know, the thing is that I guess some of us might call this coincidence, right? These might be considered coincidences. But here's what I believe. I believe that these things appear to us right at the right moment, at the right time, when we're in peace, when we're right where we're supposed to be, and when we're in consciousness. These things don't come. I was immersed in peace and love and journey, and it was about a memorial, and it was about being in that moment. And that's when these things came to my consciousness. They might have been there the whole time, but had I not been in that state, I may not have noticed them, right? So that's kind of what it is. We're always creating something. You know, sometimes in our lives, when coincidences, when things happen that are really good, we look at them and say, well, that's a coincidence. However, when things go bad, we say, what did I do wrong? And yet, it's the same mind creating the same thing. It's not wrong or right, it just is. The law just does. Ernest Holmes says, I love this, if one makes himself receptive to the idea of love, he becomes lovable. To the degree that he embodies love, he is love. So people who love are loved. Whoever becomes receptive to the idea of peace, poise, and calm, whoever embodies these divine realities, finds them flowing through him, and he becomes peaceful, poised, and calm. That's why we're here. And this trip was a trip that honored Maria, and I trust and know that wherever she is, wherever the nextness is, that she's perfect, whole, and complete, and that her journey continues in whatever way that it's supposed to unfold and continue. And I believe that it serves for her highest good. I believe that her highest good is always being served, just like it is for each and every one of us. So here we find ourselves in the middle of this holiday season. I happen to celebrate Christmas, so, and I choose peace with that. Does life ever throw you curveballs around the holiday time? I hear some moans and groans and maybe a few tears, I don't know. A little anxiety, right? It does, life does. So I can tell you at Christmas at my house. So my partner and I, every year we had both families over for Christmas, and it can be chaotic. And some of our families don't always see eye to eye, family members, right? So I used to do this. I used to say, people arrive at my house, and they would go, and I don't want to call anyone out, someone in my family, my dad, just in case she's watching, or he, I got to sit at the table with so-and-so. And I said this to them always, leave it at the door. When you come into my house, bring all the good stuff, the love and everything, and focus on all the good things that happen. Focus on all the good vibes and focus on the people that you love. And then I promise you I'll leave it there, and you can pick it up when you leave if you want. I suggest you don't, but if you choose to, have at it, right? If that makes you happy and whatever, then do it. And I can tell you something, it worked. It really worked often in my house. We always had, everybody still talks about this Christmas that they would experience in our house. So I know that would work, and it's just a matter of bringing it to consciousness. So last week in Reverend Helen's talk, she talked about how this philosophy doesn't give us a spiritual bypass. If there's something going on, we can't just pretend that it's not there. We can't just pretend that we're not going through an experience. We're experiencing it for a reason. We can do something about it, though. And not getting a spiritual bypass means that you have to actually work at it and find out what it is and then dig deep and fix it and get rid of it, if that's what you're supposed to do. Or at least learn how to find peace in spite of it. So from that vein, I'd like to offer you 5 tips to know that you are on track to achieving inner peace. Now, this is not scientific. This is just Fred's 5 pieces that work for me. So I'm just putting it out there. That said, I'm going to say this. Use it if it works for you. If it doesn't work for you, modify it. And if that still doesn't work for you, find your own thing. There's no spiritual bypass. You're going to experience things. Come up with ways to find yourself back to a place of inner peace throughout this process. So I'll give you those 5 tips. Here they are. Number 1, and this is how you know that you're on track to achieving inner peace. Keep that in mind. Number 1, you feel like life is good no matter what. Things show up and you still have a spring in your step. Feel like life is good no matter what. Number 2, you feel abundant. And when I say abundant, I'm not just talking about financially. I'm talking about the ability of abundance to give love, to feel peace, to give. You know, Maria always was a giver. She never stopped giving. In fact, even when she passed and pulled our hands up, she said, I'm tired, but I'm at peace. What a gift. What a gift. You feel abundant. Number 3, you see the greatness in everyone you meet, or at the very least, you see the lesson that you need to learn. Okay? How about those relatives that make you crazy? What are you going to do? They're not going away. Are you focused on them? Or are you focused on the 10 others or 12 others or the ones that you really love? Stay focused on the ones that bring you joy. Stay focused on the ones that bring you peace. And bless the person who's giving you the lesson, perhaps. Number 4. Number 4. You can always tell when you strike a chord with this congregation because there's little fits of laughter going, oh my God, Uncle so-and-so or Auntie so-and-so, right? Synchronicity starts to happen all around you. When you're living an authentic moment to moment and living peace and feeling love, these synchronicities seem to happen. And not only just the synchronicities and things around you and things that you notice, but also the people around you. People show up to support you in what you need. You know, people suddenly show up and you turn around and you look and you think, oh my God, they're right there. Wow, I love that. That is synchronicity. And these things start to happen when you start to live this way. And number 5, and this is really the biggest one for me personally, but use it if it works, is you're on your way to achieving inner peace when you are at peace. Number 5, when you are at peace. That's proof that you've got inner peace. Remember, inner peace is a choice. And synchronicity, by the way, somebody sent me this from Portugal, and I wear it every day, and I put it on this morning. It's a peace symbol. And I literally went, oh, well, there's another synchronicity. My talk on peace from Portugal. And I'm wearing something from, anyway, just synchronicity. Just popped into my mind when I saw it bouncing around there. Remember that peace is a choice. And peace goes from inside of you, goes out into the world. And I really have to tell you this. Couldn't we all use a little more peace and light and love in the world? Be that peace. You know, let's remember what Martin Luther King said. He said, to be the peace that you want to see in the world. Let that resonate with you. Be the peace that you want to see in the world. Namaste.
Thank you, Fred. You're an inspiration. And there are no accidents, are there?
No.
There are no accidents. At 8:30 this morning, thank goodness for the internet, I saw a quote that goes along with what you were saying, but the whole theme, and it says, "Do not be dismayed by brokenness of the world. All things break. All things can be mended, but not with time, with intention. So go. Love intentionally, extravagantly, unconditionally. The broken world waits in darkness for the light that is within you, within you." So this is the time in our service that we take out what we have to offer in the form of money that supports us and allows us to continue to create a wonderful world that works for all. For in giving, we receive. And we'll sing, I Release and I Let Go.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you're discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. And this is what I have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my veil is open wide. Yes, I'm all in for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. Yes, I'm free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm all in for God. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. Yes, my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
And this moment, surrounded by peace and love, we accept these gifts. We accept these gifts with joy, with gratitude, knowing that they go out to let us spread our own good, and knowing that there is nothing but love. It is an expression of our love, and we are so grateful for all that has been given to us right here and right now. Together we say, and so it is.
I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. Said I'm free in the spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Said I'm free in the spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Said I'm free in the spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. First of all, thank you to the band. Thank you, Aiden. Thank you, Brendan, Julian, Carrie, Brian, and Agnea on drums. Welcome, welcome. Thank you, thank you. A big hand for the band. A few other thank yous. Board members Marge, collection practitioner Margaret Ann, greeters Christine, Live Well Store, Laurie and Rebecca. Thank you, Marge, for setup. After service cleanup, Margaret Ann. On sound, it's Cohen. It says Wesley here, yeah. Oh, he switched, okay. Oh, thank you, okay. On camera, Jim and Kim. Well done, beautiful. Our community practitioner is Linda. If you have something on your mind, something that you want to work with, have prayer over, please see Linda Vazowski in the prayer room. She'll be there. Thank you for your beautiful meditation, Carrie. Carrie, thank you so much. Thank you, Ellen, for your beautiful words of wisdom as our lead practitioner. And Fred, thank you for inspiring us with your guest as our guest speaker. And thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you everyone online. Have a great week. Don't forget to pick up those postcards, please, to advertise our Live Well store. Have a great week. And we're going to sing Eye to Eye.
Partly because I know Fred said eye to eye at some point, and also my eye is messed up, so this is why we're playing this tune. Okay, let's do it. Okay.
Got myself a notion, one I know that you'll understand, to set the world in motion by reaching out towards each other's hands. Maybe we'll discover what we should have known all along. One way or another, together's where we both belong. If we listen to each other's hearts, we'll find we're never too far apart. And baby, love is the reason why the first time ever we're seeing it eye to eye. If a wall should come between us, too high to climb, too hard to break through, I know that love will lead us and find a way to bring me to you. Don't be in a hurry, think before you count and stop. Maybe we'll discover together where we let you down. If we listen to each other's hearts, we'll find we'll never too far apart. And maybe love is the reason why the first time ever we're seeing it eye to eye. Love
Have a great weekend, everyone.
Have a great week, everybody.
1, 2.